All right. Today is June 18th, 2026. One trade. It was a loss, a smaller loss. Should have been a break even. Just a mistake on my end, and I'll go over that. Um, so coming into the day, right, we had manipulated into this NWAG beneath yesterday with FOMC, and we had a clear expansion higher. Um, just showing clear bullish signature back, maybe returning to our bullish expansion at all-time highs. And we have these clear targets as well, right? We have all this LR built up, looking like a market maker buy model. Okay. Um, so then coming into market open, what were we presented with, right? We had pre-market manipulation, right? So we swept previous day high on Nasdaq, and we swept high of day on ES and YM pre-market, so like or just a market open, which allowed 930 to expand lower. We had pre-market manipulation, so 930 could expand without manipulating higher again. And we do have this small cracking correlation at the highs as well, right? So following this expansion, what am I looking for particularly? I want continuation, to clear out this LR and take previous day high in ES as well as YM. So I'm looking at this 30-minute fair value gap as a clear, bullish key level to distribute from or continue from. However, we had failed to really distribute from this as we just started consolidating, right? So nothing that I liked in here, as well as we're also um, very close proximity to this internal low here. So I'd prefer to wait for this level to be cleared before taking longs, or wait for expansion away to confirm the smart money reversal and the continuation higher. Okay. Um, but then how did I come up with taking a short, right? So we had this grind higher where 10 a.m. opened. And for me, I didn't validate 10 a.m. like a clear expansion from 10 a.m. Due to just these failure swings we generated at the lows. All right, we're just engineering liquidity above this internal low here and this internal low here. So I see we have engineered liquidity and 10 a.m. expands higher. Um, and another thing which led me to take a short, right? We just continue to move higher, is that when we took this high of day here, ES was still in a, around EQ of the range and, bearish imbalances, right? So if we were to reject here, we have this cracking correlation with this key level, as well as in these imbalances on ES and here YM, which is very weak, and it barely, you know, mitigated this internal low here. So we have these failure swings grinding higher, and we're hitting this key level. So what I would want to see is expansion away from this key level to kind of confirm this as a manipulation. So we have a key level, cracking correlation. Now I want to see expansion into the key level, expansion away from the key level. All right, so that is what we get. We do get clear expansion away from the key level. And this confirms my entry right here. I took the CISD. Why did I take it on ES? This is because it's the weaker asset in the sense it failed to take out the high. So it should be the one to take out the strong liquidity first, if that makes sense. Um, and by the way, guys, if you guys have any questions at any time, just feel free to put them in chat or anything you want me to cover or go over. But yeah, so I took this short here. It's about 2R. And I think this is a very, very solid trade. The one thing we are fading, the high time frame. We did want longs coming into it, but we're, in this high time frame key level. We have these DOLs lower. So if we're expecting, or if I'm expecting price to go higher, I want this LR to be swept um, prior to the move higher. So I took this short, um, and this was going to be my break even point, right? This is my break even point right here. And I was watching it on NASDAQ, and this is where I made my break even mistake, is as we expanded lower, NQ took it before ES, right? So if ES is the weaker asset, it should be the one to take the lows first. However, Nasdaq is now the one taking the lows, showing it's weaker now, right? So this should not hold if ES is weaker. So this should be a point where I went break even, um, as we have this cracking correlation at this internal low, but it's also um, kind of a strength switch, right? Because ES should be weaker, but now Nasdaq is the one making the lows. So this shouldn't hold, right? We should expand through this. So that should be a break even and validation point. So I did not go break even because we just had this LR beneath, and I wanted to see it get ran. And this could be a spot where I would have trailed, like, or, around this high or something, or went break even after we like came back up. We should expand lower now, but I didn't. I was just very confident in the DOL lower. Again, this is another opportunity right here where I could have um, maybe trimmed my stop loss to just mitigate risk as we swept this internal buy side. And now I should expand lower, but I didn't. I was just really, really confident. And then once we expanded higher like this, I'm like, yeah, this is likely against me. And we had, I think I closed manually right here. So it wasn't a full loss, but it was a smaller loss, and a good lesson learned. Um, to still keep a mechanical mindset, even though like discretion is telling me otherwise. But yeah, now it looks like we're just pushing back to buy side. But a lot of consolidation here, not the cleanest delivery with failure swings down here. Yeah. So, any questions about anything? Any trades you guys took? Be happy to take a look at, go over it. You don't have any? Ben's, anything? Oh, go ahead. What's up, Ben's?
Sup?
Any
So
questions?
today,
Any trades you took? What's going on?
for me, no question though. Really, you have like really good, like clean and clear explanation and the trend and how you spoken about your trade. For me, I didn't take any trade this week because this week is very bad,
Yeah, it was rough price action for sure.
and I no need to every day to take a trade.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. That's very smart. Awesome. Yeah. What do you what kind of concepts do you trade? Do you trade ICT, Power Three, any quarterly theory?
I trade like a little bit similar to ICT, but it's like a Tyler version of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, TGR. Oh, great. Yeah, that's really good. So PA is that bad because news only? Yeah, so I think the main reasons for poor price action this week, or like, not the cleanest delivery, yeah, especially the second half of the week, right? As we get FOMC um, on Wednesday afternoon, so that makes kind of the morning of Wednesday less probable for delivery, as well as it being a new Fed chair, like as Jerome Powell was no longer the Fed chair. So that could be a reason where people are more even like questioning what he's going to say, what he's going to do, as well as this large. I think there's a couple of reasons. This large expansion, the NWAG that we had. It's just like we're at all time highs, but price is a reason to go lower, right? So we're kind of fighting all time high bias as well as the need to rebalance. And we also have a bank holiday tomorrow, so it's kind of like the news as well as the we're fighting like all time high conditions with this large range. It's hard for us to expand higher without rebalancing first. Now that we rebalance, it looks like we're ready to expand. Um, and yeah, bank holiday tomorrow. There might be other news. Um, Potentially, maybe something with the SpaceX IPO could be a reason for it as well. Um, but yeah, those are probably the main reasons for it. And if you guys have any other questions or anything, I'll answer them. But if not, should be all set for today. I'll give it a couple seconds. All right, sounds good. You know, guys, feel free to DM me or anything, or ask any questions in the Discord. But have a good one. Of
You too, bro. Appreciate it.
course, man.